Thanks to our beautiful mothers, Tommy and I have fished together since we were 9 years old. That's over 50 years.
I went to my office every day. I had surgery 2 days a week.
And that's what fishing's all about, to get away from the concrete jungle, get away from the freeways, and be out there in God's country and enjoying your surroundings.
Well, I'll tell you what, I saw them on TV every Saturday, and I figured that anybody that could put up with Tommy could put up with me. So I figured they'd be great for visiting Iceland. I don't know if Iceland will be the same.
Mark Jones is a crazy guy from Texas who somehow twisted our arm into coming to Iceland and try to catch some Atlantic salmon and some sea trout.
Marty, I've been all over the world, but I've never seen two worse dressed guys than Mark and Tommy.
Go. Hey,
Hoot.
Mark, my man.
Maria.
Mark,
how you doing, Hoot?
Maria.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Oh, Maria, how you doing?
This is Flake Boy.
Good to see you.
Great.
Gentlemen,
Fabulous.
don't we look good?
This is the best we've looked all day.
Gentlemen, leave Maria alone. We got to go eat.
Okay. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you,
My man,
Maria.
Mark, you know, it's kind of funny. Anybody can look skinny and kind of decrepit, but it takes a real man to have meat on his bones where he can just stay in this cold weather and look good, you know what?
I think, frankly, they're unhealthy myself.
I do. I think they're almost anemic.
Feels like fall in Texas. It's about 70 degrees, maybe 75 degrees. And we're in Iceland. And I told everybody in my office I was going to Iceland. And they said, you know, what do you want to do that for? I said, aren't you going to freeze to death? And I said, I don't know. I'm going to take a lot of warm clothes. I had no idea. But look at, whoa! Almost forgot to bow. There we go. How about that? How about that? Finally. I've been casting for 5 hours this morning and something finally happened.
Yeah, the wind picked up.
The wind picked up.
That's all, yeah.
That's all we needed?
Yeah.
And what makes the fish less spooked.
Yeah.
A little more apt to hit something. I've got my camera with me, so I want to take a photo. There we go.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
Let me get my camera out real quick. You can get him a breath, and I'll take a good picture.
Take him from the nut.
Yeah.
Scoop him up here.
This will be a good picture because the sky's blue and everything behind you is pretty.
Slag liam om knip, mal milk on lip, loop lip, slag liam, blok, you made one lip, alek click, lip, slip, lakum,
Up, back.
yeah, back, look, back, and then slag lip, talk, okay, let's go. There's certain moments with every fisherman or fisherwoman or what have you that you have either early or late in the afternoon when things just look right. I had just lost a pretty good fish at the other pool with Ken, and I got a little bit depressed. I don't normally get depressed, but I got a little bit down. And we went to this beautiful, in the pool in the meadows there, with a grass bank. The sun was going down, it was raining, overcast and raining.
Okay.
It's a big fish, it's a big fish. 7:15 in Iceland, Thursday night. He's coming this way. Oh, man. You just be ready for about another 10 or 15 minutes. I had a good feeling about this thing, and sometimes these things happen to when you're casting good, your timing's good, everything's just right. And I was working my way down that little bank with a curve in it, and I kept making good cast after another. And I said, Tommy, something good's gonna happen. I just felt it. and I was casting right toward the bank, every cast, maybe a foot off the bank. And probably after about 10 minutes, with everything just right, I got a beautiful strike. And I'll tell you, I felt a heck of a lot better. That thing didn't jump a whole lot, but what he did do is he would come toward me and he'd leave. He'd come toward me and he'd leave. He kept doing that for about 10 or 15 minutes. We'd get him close and he'd go right back out again. So I feel a lot better about what happened. I feel good about the way I was casting. I felt my timing was right. So those things happen every now and then to real guys or anybody else along life's way. So I think the moral of the story is, when you feel good, keep you warm in the water. Something good might happen. Is he okay?
He's okay.
Good. We did it again. Did it again. Oh gosh, oh God, he's a big fish. That's a good fish.
The Real Guys are brought to you by Imodium Advanced Caplets. What a relief.
Average size of Atlantic salmon in this river is about 5 to 7 pounds. We get always 1 or 2 over 50, maybe 20 pounds every year. But most of it is from, let's say from 5 to 10 pounds in that cup.
I got one. It was only about maybe the 4th cast.
I got one.
And Helly didn't warn me. We had that little bitty light 2-pound test leader and a size 26 fly.
There's my little fingernail, there's the fly. This is the wildest thing I have. This morning it was 75 degrees and sunshine. Right now it's probably, I don't know, 55 degrees or 50 and no sun, a lot of wind. What makes me nervous? I just can't put any pressure on it, you know. Here we go, a little run down the river, which I've gotten used to. Come on back over here, you rascal.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was cold, the wind was blowing, and we snuck down behind the cliff and caught a beautiful, fresh Atlantic salmon. It's kind of weird, these Texas guys coming up to Iceland. I think they will probably be glad when we leave.
That's it. Well done.
Man, that wasn't a huge salmon, but it was pretty cool.
Yep.
We're going down that little.
It's such a light tackle.
Oh yeah, that fly is tiny. We're gonna.
It's this fly is called Francis, and Francis catches probably about 40% of all fish caught on fly in Iceland.
Francis.
Yeah.
It's just a little orange.
It's just
something. I don't know what it is.
It's kind of like a shrimp when you see it in bigger sizes. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, thanks a lot. I enjoyed that. You know, it was weird because that fish was not real big, and I really pretty much babied it. But when you told me the hook was small and the little 8-pound line,
it's tapered leader.
It's tapered leader.
8-pound leader. Yeah.
8-pound leader.
Probably just
that fast water.
Yeah.
Well, the name of the river and the camp is Laxavík. It is quite famous. It's one of the best rivers in Iceland. And we can accommodate 20 people. We have excellent chefs. We take very good pride in having good staff. We have our chefs have been chosen Chef of the Year in Iceland.
We have a tradition here in Iceland, and when you catch your first salmon, you usually do it at the river, but you have to bite the fin off. This one this year, and wash it down with Black Death. But here we have them do it at the table in front of everybody, so everybody catches it. Tear it off. No, you're gonna have to eat it, man. Swallow it down.
Okay.
You do that, not me.
Excellent.
He has now deserved the golden beds. First salmon, laxar and kjós.
Excellent.
I think this weather's a lot like Austin, Texas. If you hang around about 5 to 10 minutes, it'll change again. We've gone from 50 degrees to 75 degrees in about a 2-hour period. We've gone from 0 wind to 20-mile-an-hour wind in about an hour and a half. So it reminds me a lot of home. Just a little bit cooler right now.
It's Tommy's time to pick out fly for this pool.
Ah, I tell you what, you can't get any better than Gisli, I tell you. This guy gives me first choice all the time, right? Oh, look at that. Are you kidding me? Well, we've been catching them on real little small ones now. Yes. Those look pretty big to me. Oh, yeah, these a little bit smaller.
We'll have small here.
Yeah.
Small here.
Yeah.
Small here. This one. And the
Tommy's
one
choice.
You caught on, just to tell you, on yesterday.
Yeah, which one was it?
This one is Undertaker.
Exactly.
Undertaker, but you caught yours yesterday on this one.
On that, yeah, I like that one right there. Yeah. Yes, I do like that one. You're reading my mind, Gisli. You're reading my mind. But what he did do, he put on a little underwater display, and you can just see that silhouette of that silver go through that water.
I'm glad you could gather here this morning. We have the real guys have come to Iceland and trying to teach these horses how to cast, to fly. Look, they're all looking at me. Okay, guys, try to don't use too much your arm. Keep your elbow fairly steady, and look at me when I'm talking to you. All right? Okay, the one in the front looks like the smartest one. The palominos, they're all kind of looking off the side. I guess they want something else. But, okay, you guys, keep your wrists straight.
Jeez. Whoa. Oh, gosh. Oh, God, he's a big fish. That's a good fish.
The blue fly did it.
The blue fly did it, yeah. Yeah.
And the fisherman. And the fisherman.
The blue fly. Oh, and the fish. Oh, look at it. Isn't that pretty? Okay. Oh, shit. He hit it right where you told him to go, Gisli. And when Gisli pulled up to it, he said, Tommy, he says, hey, my blue fly is going to work in here. And we sat there, and we tried the blue fly, we tried a riffle hitch, we tried a little bit of everything, and nothing happened for about 45 minutes. And within a couple of casts with that good blue fly, I hooked a beautiful, beautiful salmon. And again, it's kind of where you catch it and how you catch it, but this water is so clear, you can see the bottom from 10, 12, 15 feet down. And this fish did not jump, but what he did do, he put on a little underwater display, and you could just see that silhouette of that silver go through that water every time he would come in. He would come in and go out. He would come in and go out. He did not want to come up. Look at that. Look at that. That's what it's all about right there. I have really enjoyed fishing the last 3 days with Gisli. Great guy. He has his own business. He does salted cod, exports it to Spain. The guy has a great education. He knows 5 languages. He kind of put me to shame as far as brain power goes. But we've had a lot of fun talking about fishing and catching fish. But he broke off. That's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. That's a good. I just seen him do that.
You know what we call this? An early release.
Early release. That's right. That's right.
That's
that
fine.
was that's fine.
Perfect. Perfect.
Oh, that's
we
good.
got what we wanted.
Oh, I tell you, wasn't that neat? He hit right over there, Jason, right on that seam there where you're talking about.
Same spot.
Yeah, same spot, yeah. Oh, that was good. That was good. He didn't jump any that time.
He opened up the hook a little bit.
Yeah, he sure did.
It's a tough day. It's Friday. Normally I'd be at work, which gives me an unbelievable stomach ache, like I know it does most of you at home. But it's Friday. It's about probably 55 or 60 degrees. Got the waterfalls around us. Nobody's messing with us. I don't have to listen to a boss or a partner complain. And if you want a little escape, I'll suggest you do it, because time goes by very rapidly. I've casted hundreds of times for these sea trout. And, oh man.
The Real Guys are brought to you by Imodium Advanced Caplets. What a relief.
Well, talk a little bit about the sea runs and how we've struggled the last couple of days. We've tried to catch them and we just hadn't done much good.
Yeah. Well, what I think is these sea trouts, I mean, the running time is a bit strange. We're not supposed to have them until September. Oh. But what I think is happening is that we've got this cross-breeding. You know, the salmon and the sea trout spawning in the same places.
Okay. And so they're in, they're in here by the hundreds, aren't they?
Yeah.
Or maybe thousands, I guess.
Yeah.
And they're big, a lot of big fish.
A lot of big fish.
A lot of 30-inch fish.
Yeah.
Earlier in the week, I asked Hallie about we fished many different techniques. We fished the riffle hitch up on top. We fished some little orange flies down deeper stripping. I asked him about the sea trout take, and he said, you'll know because they'll hit it. They'll hit it hard. With the salmon, you're supposed to say, God save the queen, or count 1, 2, 3, and wait before you strike. But with the sea trout, go ahead and lift the rod when you feel it. And I definitely felt it. I've casted hundreds of times for these sea trout, and oh man, nothing has happened.
The sea trouts, they just take off. They go out to the underline. But the salmon, they don't fight that well comparing to the sea trout.
The sea trout.
Yeah.
Well,
they're good fighters, but not as good as the sea trout.
I hooked that trout right here, right kind of where we're standing. I've been here, I know, at least 3 days. I've never had a strike. I've casted for hours and hours, and we hooked that fish right here, and I was so excited and I was so nervous I was going to lose. Anyway, we ran all the way down at least to the bend in the river, which is probably 400 yards, about a quarter of a mile. That was a 30-inch fat
is he going downstream?
Hen fish. Yeah, if I can get over there, that'd be sweet. I guess kind of hang on to me in case I slip, if you don't mind. I don't want to go in with a microphone and all that other stuff. Oh yeah, this may be good, I hope. Crossed, about in water about waist deep. Got him back over to the other side, and he just took off again. I lost a little bit of weight, but I've been running before I came here with my son, Casey. I went out to San Diego with him and ran half a marathon just to prepare for fishing in Iceland. Oh, man, oh, man. Oh, geez, that's what I meant, let the sunlight get on it.
It's small fry, beadhead, Mobuto style it's called.
Mobuto style.
Yeah, and it's number 16.
Number 16.
It's a 5-weight, small reel.
That is it. That was
I thought it was a cockfish, but it's a handfish.
Oh.
So big mouth.
That is too cool. I'm gonna take a picture of you and I'm gonna let you take one with me. All righty. Man, I can rest good this afternoon, that's for sure. I can take a good nap, go home, and
hang it up. There he goes. Oh, was that sweet? It's lunchtime.
Well done.
It's lunchtime.
This is how high?
210 feet.
210 feet, and that's 90.
So 90 feet.
90 feet. And it's all glacier water.
All glacier.
That's why the water looks off color.
Yeah.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to espnoutdoors.com.